I love this building. It is seriously beautiful in the simplicity. Today we'll talk about brutalism, and it's come to light mostly because there's a new movie called The Brutalist.
Why is an accomplished foreign architect shoveling coal here in Philadelphia?
Brutalism is an architectural style that uses raw concrete and other materials to create simple, blocky structures. The style emerged in the 50s in the United Kingdom as part of the post-war reconstruction efforts. Prince Charles, if I'm not mistaken, talked about the Royal National Theatre as a way of maybe hiding a nuclear reactor. Yeah, it's funny that they say that. Now I can see that they just see these raw concrete forms, and in its time, it might have been a little stark and shocking to see the actual forms give shape to the building. But today we're getting more and more used to it. We are embracing board form concrete. We embrace seeing the structure of concrete because it's true. It's true to form. I think that the beauty is that they didn't build just a square, right? That they took a little chamfer off of the squares to create octagonal towers, even though they look square in form. I like the way they bridged the two towers with this structure floating in between, but they maintained, much like Frank Lloyd Wright, this horizontality, almost prairie school style. So there's a combination of concrete, mass structure, and then sensitivity that are combined. And that's what I find beautiful about this structure. Would I have designed it? Probably not. I tend to think about things a little differently, but I can certainly appreciate it. If I move on from the National Theatre, you could go to the Boston City Hall, which is incredibly controversial.
It looks like a parking garage.
Ugly.
Ugly.
Ugliest building in the world.
There's a combination, certainly, of concrete, of large openings, smaller openings. It almost looks tripartite in kind of the classic style of architecture with the heavy rustication on the base, and then getting to different levels where in a lot of classical architecture you would have those heavy, large bands at the base. You'd get the smaller set of windows secondary, and then the third set of windows in a smaller pattern, much like large, medium, and small shown in this building. So I think that much like Picasso, who is a gentleman that could design a very classic and do a beautiful drawing that we would all consider beautiful, to the contemporary geometric abstract forms that Picasso came to, he came to those thinkings through the history of learning how to do it through classicism. I believe that the architects that designed the Boston City Hall had a classicist background and then took it into this more brutalistic style. And to me, that's what's beautiful about it. There's a lot of beautiful detail in here. These little dividers between the windows, with the way that they're chamfered, the way that they are in three pieces, creating texture and form, the way they layer out and the building cantilevers slowly but surely, I find very intriguing. Again, would I have designed it this way? Personally, probably not. I can't take an entrance that's this far off center without something balancing it, but that's just me. If I move on, the next one really intrigues me. I love this building. It is seriously beautiful in the simplicity. I love the horizontality. I love the way it stacks up, builds out, and then tapers back in. And then the structure is so simple and so strong. It reminds me of a tree holding a piece of Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture. I even like the way they gave it what feels like a steel beam in a concrete floor system. So then you get the glazing that's in between, so it looks like these heavy things are being held up by nothing. So it's floating, and it makes it feel light and airy. So I find it intriguing. And I love the way it gives you a lot of green space below while using the square footage above. So those are the ones we have in front of us today to look at brutalism, and I am intrigued to see the movie, as I hope you are. Now I do hear through the grapevine it may be exceeding 3 hours, so make sure that you get a bathroom break and get your popcorn ready before you see it.